What's up, my Central Unit Galaxy? It's the Central Man here. So this is my review of Episode 1 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. Series 1, Episode 1. The title of this episode is called New World Order. This show started yesterday, and it's focused on the two good characters of the MCU. That is Sam Wilson, the Falcon, and James Buchanan Barnes, or Bucky for short, the Winter Soldier. Yeah, this show took place post Endgames and post original Captain America era. This is a spoiler alert review. If you haven't saw this episode yet of the show, click off this review and watch this episode, and then click back on this review to watch the rest of it. Anyway, and spoiler alert, the original Captain America, Steve Rogers, died off screen. I'll get to it a little bit shortly. I thought this was going to be a movie. We haven't saw a movie of the MCU just yet. It's been nearly 2 years since we saw an MCU movie. The last MCU movie, that was the last movie of Phase 3, that is Spider-Man Far From Home. That was the last movie before this COVID pandemic. You know, because it really ruined plans, because it pushed back movies. It was supposed to be released in 2020. It's pushed back in 2021, and some of it pushed back in 2022. Anyway, so yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, Captain America dies off screen. You know, that's Steve Rogers. Yeah, he died. I think he died of old age, because after Endgames he returned the Infinity Stones. Yeah, he died of old age because he was old after returning the Infinity Stones. You know, travel back in time, return the stones. He came back as an old man. He kind of passing the torch to Sam Wilson. And Sam Wilson in this episode kind of declined the offer to become the next Captain America, because Steve gave him the shield. And there's one scene, they're in the Captain America bit in the museum, said why you didn't take the offer. That's, you know, Rhodey. You know, it's good to see Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, and Don Cheadle in those roles, because we haven't saw these characters since Avengers Endgames back in 2019. So yeah, Rhodey asked Sam why you didn't take the offer, you know, the mantle, he said. Sam says, you know, when I touched the shield, it belonged to someone else, and that someone else is Steve, because it's still Steve's shield, because he kind of declined the offer. There's one scene in America. It was when Sam traveled to Washington D.C. It was at the Smithsonian, and you could tell the original Captain America has passed away. He said said good things about Steve, like Steve represent all of us. Courageous, rightfulness, and hopeful. And he said about, you know, it's been 5 years since the blip, and we need new heroes to be suit in the time we're in. And he said about symbols, about without the symbols, without the men and women giving it meaning. And he picked up the shield, said, I never knew this greatness about this symbol. He said about more of a man who propped it up, and now he's gone. So, in that scene, you could tell Sam looks like he's emotional. He's about to cry, but yeah, he was his friend, because if you watch Captain America: The Winter Soldier, in the first scene of that movie was Sam and Steve. They were jogging. You had Steve jogging, saying "on your left." That was funny, and yeah, Sam, he kind of thrust into that situation when S.H.I.E.L.D. trying to hunt Steve and Natasha down. Go watch my review of Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's on the playlist, MCU movie review series, Phase 2, and you find it. My review of Captain America 2. Anyway, so yeah, you can tell he doesn't want to become Captain America. It really gives you a good shocker, you can call it a cliffhanger in the end of this episode. We'll get to that a little bit later on in this review. So, in one half of the story, focus on two stories of this episode. Sam and Bucky. I'll get to Bucky a little bit later. I'm just focus on Sam's side of this episode. So after he returned the shield to the government. He go to his hometown. Yeah, he gone back to his hometown, meets his sister. And it's funny that in this scene in the museum bit, in the Captain America exhibit with Sam and Rhodey, he said about like his sisters and his sister, his nephews and niece. I think they got blipped alongside with Sam, and then now they grow up. They grow up. Sam's sister, who's grown up now because in the blip she was like a young kid, probably a young. You didn't really see Sam's sister in those Marvel movies. She's kind of like a new character into the MCU. In one scene, they travel to, I think it's Delaware. Sam Wilson's from. Sam's family works in a fish market, and they got a little bit of a financial problem. Sam trying to help his sister, trying to get out of the financial hold. They're in a lot of shit. I think Sam's confront a little bit of his sister about you kind of tangled with the house to get the loans, and then in one scene they go to the bank and they kind of they reject their offer to get the money to pay off their debts. That can play a massive part in the later on in this series of Falcon Winter Soldier. Anyway, so let's talk about Bucky's arc. By the way, in the beginning of this episode, we had a good fight scene. It had that movie presence in this episode. Like I said, I thought it was a movie, but instead it's a TV show. Anyway, I was gobsmacked. We had the return of George St. Pierre. We haven't saw him since Captain America 2: The Winter Soldier as Batrick. He was kind of like kidnapping this soldier called Vitant, in the helicopter. They had the helicopter scene. It was fucking good. You had the baddie shooting down Sam, and he had this drone called Red Wing, and he's shooting down the helicopters like shooting Sam. And I think Batrick had one line in English because in Captain America 2 he was speaking in French, because George St. Pierre, I thought he was French, but he's from Canada. He's from Quebec. It said about like he cannot reach the border. Anyway, they were going near Libya. Anyway, so we never got that proper fight between Falcon and Batrick. Batrick didn't got killed off in this episode. That's George St. Pierre's character. He not killed off because after I think he shot the missiles towards the I think it's the missile trying to shot at the helicopter. Batrick managed to get out of the way. He didn't like fall to his death. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know, he might get killed off screen. I don't know. But George St. Pierre, he's not. Granted, he's not really a actor. He's an MMA fighter. Fought in the UFC. I think he was a bantamweight and a light heavyweight champion. Featherweight champion. I don't know. Anyway, so it's the last time we see him in this episode. We never see him ever again. Or not ever again, but unless he appeared in episode 2. That'll be next Friday. Anyway, so let's talk about Bucky's story. Bucky, there was one action scene with Bucky Barnes. And Bucky was basically being down, like killing a Russian mob. And you got this one Chinese dude, not Chinese dude, but this Asian looking dude. I think he was preparing, he wants to trying to get into his room because he saw Bucky being and killing the Russian mob. I think Bucky said about Hail Hydra choking one of the mob's neck, crushed his neck and killing him. And he's going after the Asian looking dude. He was hesitating, shaking, his arms were shaking, trying to get his key to lock his room door and say, don't kill me, I didn't saw anything. And Bucky thought he shot the dude dead. Unfortunately, that was a nightmare sequence. You thought that was, he's still the Winter Soldier, this killing machine. There's one scene like, Bucky's in this, it's a funny scene in this episode. Bucky was, he's at therapy with a psychologist. The psychologist, I think her name, I clicked on the subtitles, said about her name's Dr. Reiner. She's kind of like, doesn't really buy into, Bucky's shit. He was telling a bit Porky's, lies about, he said about, do you have nightmares? And Bucky said no. And she was like, give herself a deep breath and then write down a notebook. And Bucky says, "Oh, come on now, the notebooks stuff. Oh, that's unprofessional, passively aggressive." That was funny. That was funny. And also he's stopping Hydra members or former members of Hydra instead of killing them. He's kind of like putting turning his fate to the of justice. Being like a proper hero. He's not like an anti-hero. Anti-heroes sometimes they like still follow the rule books, but sometimes they break the rule books instead. Killing their foe, killing their enemy. So in one scene, he's stopping this senator called Senator Atwood in the car park. He kind of like tampered the senator's car, and then you got like self-proclaimed bodyguard or some man who's in the senator's car trying to shoot Bucky. Bucky stopped him, knocked him out cold, and he said about, "My name is James Buchanan Barnes. I'm no longer the Winter Soldier. You're part of my efforts to make amends." He doesn't want to become the Winter Soldier, because he's trying to follow the truth, doing the right thing without killing someone. So basically, the psychologist Dr. Rayner said about what do you want, and he said about peace, and the doctor says that is utter bullshit. And he said about like alone is a quiet personal hell you cannot escape. So we introduced new characters in this episode. Like, you've got Sam's sister. I don't remember what her name is. We got Dr. Rayner. I don't know if she's going to appear in more episodes. Don't know. Fingers crossed. We introduce Yuri Nakashima. He's basically Bucky's new friend. He is like an old Japanese person. Probably fought like in World War II. I'm not being racist, but I'm just saying. He kind of like having to go with this guy called Unique. Because over garbage, rubbish in the bin, and then he took Bucky to have lunch in a sushi restaurant. She meets a girl who works in the sushi bar called Leah, and he had this one scene. I think they were going into a love interest scene. I don't know. This is only episode 1. Like going into that love interest direction of James Buchanan Barnes. He trying to like not to make the character one-dimensional. In the scene, they didn't kiss, and oh yeah, by the way, and also Bucky said about like I was in the car, I was calm in Wakanda. I fought one fight to another for 90 years. Yeah, because he referenced, because he fought in World War II and fought the fight against Thanos, before he got blipped by Thanos with the snap. Anyway, so yeah, he had this her and Leah. You can tell like they're pushing that love interest storyline. We get if it's gonna play out this storyline between, Leah and Bucky. They're playing battleships and talking about Bucky's starting to getting with the times. Leah says that's the Japanese girl who works in the sushi bar. Said about have you date and Bucky said about dating, looking up a dating website, said about funny pictures, he's old school because he's 100 years old. Because that's not Sebastian Stan's real age, because I think Sebastian Stan's, he's in his like late 30s, same as, I don't know about Anthony Mackie's. Rhodey's fucking, wow. Don Cheadle, wow, he's aged a lot. I don't know how old is he? He's getting on. I think he's in his like 50s, pushing 60. So anyway, he said, Leah said about do you have a sister? And Bucky has a sister. I don't know. I don't follow the Winter Soldier character. I understand it's Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, is basically the Robin of the MCU, and. He didn't mention the sister's name. Yeah, Leah says, "Do you have a sister?" She said yes. But Leah kind of not say disrespectful to about, "Do you have parents?" But yeah, he said they passed away because because he got blasted off the train in Captain America 1 in World War II, and then he got brainwashed by Hydra, became the Winter Soldier, got freeze for a couple years alongside Steve Rogers, and then. trying to get back in society, enough to be in the Winter Soldier. You could tell, like, in the nightmare sequence, Bucky had long hair. That was the last time with long hair, and then in this episode, throughout the show, he's had short hair. It's the first time we see Bucky with short hair since Captain America 1. Before this is like pre-Winter Soldier, before he got kidnapped by Hydra, after he got fallen off the cliff, off the train. Anyway, so Leia said about, and also Yuri said about his son died abroad, and then and he said to Leia said to Bucky that Yuri really was hard time for Yuri because he lost his son. He basically left the sushi bar, because he kind of like worried about Yuri. And then, really one shocker, because Bucky has a list of Hydra, or supplementing former Hydra agents, or people working with Hydra. Yuri's on this list. I don't know if they're gonna kill Yuri. We don't know. I think Yuri's kind of like this grandfather figure with Bucky, because Bucky has... Sorry, burp. So, Bucky has no one. He's completely alone because his friend is dead. Died of old age. His parents died a long time ago in the 40s. And now, he's all alone. I don't know if they're going to push this love interest between him and Leia. That was, you have to wait until, when we get to the maybe not lateral stages, but wait until the next couple episodes of the show. Anyway, so we got this terrorist group called the Flag Smashers. I don't know, it's similar to the Ten Rings. And you got this character called Torres. Introduce new characters of the show. Torres went to Switzerland as a undercover agent. He basically got his ass kicked by this big dude, represent the Flag Smashers. He got his ass kicked. He's trying to shoot the guy, but his gang basically broke Torres' arm. I think that's his name, Torres. Broke his arm, not arm, but he broke his hand, beat the crap out of him. And we don't know much about this Flag Smashers group. They kind of like terrorize a building in Switzerland. I think it's in Zurich. So, anyway, so I think that's it. I think I covered most of it. By the way, the fight scene, they're fighting the cliff I'm guessing in the Middle East between Falcon and the French guys kidnapping the US soldiers. That is badass, man. That is absolute badass, it's only a little bit, like I said, I was a bit lying about there was a bit of action sequence, it's only the first episode. It's not fantastic, but it was still good to watch, it's badass. Anyway, so, the final scene I'm talking about is the new Captain America. So, they find out that the new Captain America is John Walker, played by Wyatt Taylor. Wyatt Taylor, so, no. I think he's called Wyatt Russell. I thought is it the same guy who plays the villain in Logan, the 2017 movie? I don't know. He looks like him, without the facial hair. I don't know what's his character in Logan. I saw the movie, don't get me wrong, but when he's on field to be the next Captain America, I don't know. I think it would kind of pissed off Sam, because he's kind of like, the government's kind of like tainting the legacy of Steve Rogers. Because Steve Rogers built his legacy becoming this hero, took the super serum, became this all-American hero, fucking basically got frozen in time for 70 years, came back in 2011, fought like gods, fought fucking Thanos. He fought, like, the Winter Soldier before, Bucky, refused not to fight in Winter Soldier. He fought so many times in World War II, and then in the previous decade, the 2010s, and, saved the world several times, and then the US government, unveiled this guy's gonna be the next Captain America. Sorry, I'm burping. And, that guy gonna be the next Captain America. Wyatt Russell Taylor? I think it's Wyatt Russell. He's fucking ugly looking. With Chris Evans, he's handsome. I'm not saying it in a gay way, but he's kind of like handsome compared to Wyatt Russell. He looks ugly, man. don't know much about John Walker. He's kind of like another new character of the show. We have to wait and find out into the next episode to develop the character. Is he going to be like, I don't think he'll be the next Captain America, because Captain America takes the fucking super serum. I don't think he's strong enough to be Captain America. I don't know. So it made Sam a little bit pissed. He looks pissed, man. I don't know what his reaction going to be in episode 2. So we've got to wait and find out. So anyway, so I'm going to end this episode review of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. Yeah, overall, a good episode. It's not on the same level as WandaVision, because this is the first the show I'm going to talk about, because I just wrapped up WandaVision. It's not going to be like WandaVision because, it's different, because they focus on, because the first 3-4 episodes, they focus on in a sitcom. This is focused on, this is an action base. It'll be similar to the previous superhero movies. Instead of like Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy, that's more sci-fi. But you have to wait and find out. So yeah, it was a good episode. It's set up like, it's not set up like the rest of the season, but it's gonna like it told like 2 different stories in this episode. Like Sam wants to help his sister. Bucky trying to focus on getting to, settle in real life, because, he doesn't want to become the Winter Soldier. I can't wait until Sam and Bucky collab, because there's some chemistry between Falcon and Winter Soldier, Bucky and Sam. I like Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie, the good chemistry. I see it was funny. Yeah, it's funny when Sam jumping off the plane. That'll be in the future episode. Don't know what episode it's gonna be, but you can tell there's gonna be some bantering between those 2 characters. So I can't wait. So anyway, so hope you enjoy my review of episode 1 of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos, Marvel videos, and more. I'm gonna do this show review of Falcon Winter Soldier show every Saturday. Watching on Friday. Because this episode review was recorded on Friday. I'm gonna post it on Saturday. Every Saturday, I'm going to review every episode of the Falcon Winter Soldier show. Stay tuned for that. So yeah, this is Essential Man officially signing out. Check you later.